And everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
You must be dreaming.
Mayfield on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Leo. Yo, go.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. Past the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. T.J. Logan, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Let's go.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
I got you.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Pull it high. Now. Hey, lock it. Now.
On first down, Logan. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 48 yards on the ground.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming.
And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. And that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
He's mine.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Logan. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Logan. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The numbers for Njoku from a week ago. 5 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
I know you felt that one.
On 3rd down. It's Carson, and that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You ain't going nowhere.
On first down, it's Logan. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
3 bucks. He's checking. Crash. Check 13. Shift. Check.
Hey!
31.
Ready?
Now a give, right side. Logan takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check. Presto.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 37.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Go!
Who's that? Is that yours? Who's that?
Hustle, down.
They'll run on first down. It's Logan, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up.
Get it.
Now a give, right side. Logan, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Mayfield to throw it. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield finding Beckham, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Sam off. 52. Check 26. Check 26. SOS.
Here's 2nd and 8. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Sam Martin now as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He and his team, they've had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
What we got?
3rd and long for Mayfield. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Look, squeeze. Hard. Alert flare. 49. Hey, wahoo.
A final shot before break. McAllister. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Logan. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McAllister flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. This is Logan. And some space here. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. T.J. Logan, 77 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Looking to throw. McAllister, and this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go!
Heading back out, Baker Mayfield as we call up our... The Cleveland offense ready to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, watch the ball.
Here's Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Throwing on second and 8. Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 21, it's second and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10.
Go on. Hey, Leo. He's coming. We got time.
To throw again. McAllister. And he fires one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes like 9.9 times out of 10. Just missed that one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
We play to win. Let's go.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. How about the safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack?
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
He finds Beckham complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. First down, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. And it's caught. Beckham. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Mayfield brings it up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They run it with Carson, and the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. To throw, Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 4 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They'll run on 1st down. Logan. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Let's go, defense.
Recon, 132 fighter, 2.
They run again with Logan. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, Zoo. Can. Smooth. Hey, orbit. 5.
Now again, right side. It's Logan. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Greystone, Travis. Look at me, zipper.
They run with Logan. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Hey, high 7. Yo, go.
We want this.
Ready.
Operating from the gun, McAllister. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On the carry, it's Logan. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
We call that sack block.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the Steelers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they fall for the first